Hi. So we participated the AI Verify Hackathon this year, and we'd like to share our thoughts and maybe walk you through like what kind of problems that we wanted to solve and what was the design proposal, what was the UI text proposal, and what we did so far. And do you want me to share my screen or do you want to share your screen, Bonnie?
Yeah, I
Because the
can share
first
my
issue
screen.
is okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I'll hand it over to Bonnie.
Yeah, thank you, Sanjin. So in this hackathon, Sanjin, Marcel and Bradley and was working on 4 issues. So you can see it here. So the 4 issue is the make it clear when the dual chat feedback has been successfully submitted, investigate ideal width of the GitLab dual chat, clarify why a setting is disabled when enforced in another location, and not clear why settings of disabled features are available. So each of these, they have different intents that you can see in the last column. It's mentioned about the expected outcome. So some of these issues are in a biteable side. So for those one, the intent is to actually make the design proposal and then we'll bring the implementation into production. And some of them may be quite big and the intent would be generate ideas. And some of it maybe need some further discussion. Well, let's go to talk about each issue one by one. So I'll go first. So the first one I pick up is make it clear when the dual chat feedback has been successfully submitted. So this is quite a small one, but the problem given is any user can give feedback in the dual chat by clicking the blue link in the message bubble. Once user given us the feedback, and then the link will change to like a great text saying thank you for the feedback. And in here, some of the users find it's quite hard to know the feedback has been gone through because the message is not very readable in there. So we go ahead and look at it, and we proposed 3 options. So the first option being just adding a icon and change the color, and the idea is to stay where it is. Second one, we explore to look at the using the alert banners, and then the third one we explore looking at using the toast message. So at the end, the third one, we find out this is not following our pajamas guidelines. So we quickly rule out option 3. And then at the end, we think of the second option, probably the most readable design. And the first one would be like a better location because user don't have to keep this missing the feedback alert if they gave us multiple feedback. So at the end, we go with the location from option 1 and the styling from option 2. So this is the ML that Bradley has worked on. So I will leave her to give us the demo in the other video, but this would be going into the production. So that is the first small issue we picked up. And then the second issue I'd look at is to investigate the ideal width of the GitLab dual chat. So the problem being is our dual chat is a overlaid drawer, and it is sitting on top of the content. And there is a few issue with that is because of firstly, it sits on top and then user cannot use the dual chat and the main content at the same time. And it's also the chat width is quite narrow, and imagine user are using the chat to ask for like code explained, and it was very hard to use it with such a small screen. So I go ahead, look at it, and propose turning the overlaid draw into a resizable sidebar. So in this idea would be the sidebar will live alongside with the main content, and the main content will refloat with the drill chat resize. And the other idea would be adding a button on the top right, so it given the user to go full screen if that works better for their preference. But since this idea is very big, and that's a lot of other considerations and technical constraints that we need to think about. So this is more like a generate another idea and keep the work going. So this is where I parked my work here, and hopefully this will live in a capable hand of our AI team and keep carrying the torch. So that's what I've been working on this hackathon. So I think I'll hand it to Sunjin and talk about the other two issues that herself and Marcel has been worked on. And I may stop sharing on my screen so Sunjin can share hers. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Bonnie, for all the nice work. And I can go through the other two issues that just Bonnie mentioned. And let me find the right screen first and then share my screen again. So there were other two issues that we touched on. So the third one was clarify why the setting was disabled because it was enforced in the different place. So I can just go through this issue first. So this issue is happening in the dual settings in the group project, not project, but in the group level. And it was identified during the heuristic evaluation that like, okay, so this setting was enforced, but as a group administrator, like probably there is no like information useful like, okay, so this is enforced by your instance admin, but there's a high chance that they don't have access to this page. So like, okay, like probably this is it. Like, can we improve this message or can we provide a link? So what's the starting of this issue? And then we had a really long discussion, and Marcel, you can feel free to chime in because it's also a collaboration with you and me on the UI text. And I suggested like maybe we can improve the UI text a little bit. And Marcel suggested like three different things. So I put three different version of UI text in my design file. And then we got the feedback from Emily, who will take care of this AI settings area, like from this milestone. So she proposed one UI. So she chose one UI text. So I was able to update my final design so that the UI text could be a little bit more helpful than before, because the title was like just setting enforced, like which is technically correct, but I think settings cannot be changed is more user friendly. And Marcel, you can jump in and then maybe share like what you thought.
Yeah, like one of the ideas was maybe to put a link to the admin settings.
Yes.
But in the average case, most group owners wouldn't have access to the instance admin settings, so that wouldn't be really good. And at the same time, for example, on GitLab.com, if we put a message saying contact an instance administrator to ask them to enable it, that would enable the group setting for all groups,
Yeah.
or it would allow all groups on the instance access to that feature. So I kind of assumed that if the instance administrator had enabled it for some reason and said, why we don't want any groups using it, the likelihood of a single group being able to convince the instance administrator that it should be enabled for all groups seemed like an edge case that we don't really have to worry about. And it would never happen on .com because they wouldn't be able to ask instance administrators on .com to enable
That's
it.
very true.
So instead, just tell them it just can't be changed.
Yeah.
And it's because it's enabled at the instance level, And if it's on a small self-managed instance, they would know who the admin is and they would know to contact them. And if it's on a large instance like .com, it's better to not suggest contacting admins because it's not going to change.
Yeah,
And so just a
because
simple
I
message.
originally suggested like maybe we should add the contact administrator because probably I was so used to designing self-managed users because in most of the case the system administrator would be their colleagues. But for the .com users, like they have no way to contact, probably not. So I think what Masil suggested here is very, very correct. So we like improve in the UI text, like rather than just like providing a link or maybe mentioning an instance that mean like you should talk to them because probably there's no way to talk to them. So we settled on this design, and I also created another MR that is being reviewed, I believe, and I also need to ping the UX Foundation team to update this change that we have this pajamas example in our doc, and then I checked the data and it was created, the image was created like 3 years ago. So I think it's a nice timing for us to revisit this image, and then they have been using the old pajamas UI component anyway. So I think, Marcel, I need your final approval on the wording of the pajamas website. I can actually show you what the current image look like. Like, see, like the pop over has the folder bottom, which is not used anymore in our UI component. And then like I couldn't find this example because it has changed so many times. So my goal is to update this image for the pajamas guideline so that other designers can easily see and enjoy the latest version of pajamas component at the same time with the improved UI text here. So do you want to add anything else regarding this issue? All right, cool. And maybe you can cover the last one. What do you think?
Yeah, I can grab the last one.
I'll stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, so let me share my screen. So we had this issue where if you look at the security policy, so this is, sorry, in the group settings. So if you look at security policy pipeline execution action, it's got the experimental badge and it's enabled, but we also have a section here that says experiment and beta features, use experiment and beta features. This is disabled and this is enabled. And so there seems to be a conflict between these settings here. And we had a lot of discussion about different options for the design, different ways of organizing it, perhaps a toggle, nesting it in different ways. And I did some digging through the code and found that part of the confusion was there was an idea of at some point in the future nesting these all under the experiment and beta features. And that was why it didn't specifically say AI or Duo or anything here. But it turns out that that decision got reversed and that they do want to keep this for Duo features only. So Sunjung came up with one design for a way of integrating everything under experiment and beta features as a possible option in the future if they want to go forward with that. But because we only have 1 week and our scope is quite limited, I decided to perhaps just put Duo or GitLab Duo into the setting name. And that makes it clear that this applies to Duo, and then we don't have to worry about nesting or reordering or changing any kind of settings. It'll still improve the experience of using this setting. We also found that this has been reported before, and you can see that the settings have already changed since this screenshot was listed, and it's such a complicated issue that they have a whole epic to discuss how to redo all of these settings, but who knows how long that's going to take. If people are confused now, it's good to have a quick fix. And so I've got the MR ready to roll, that it just puts GitLab Duo and puts GitLab Duo into there and makes it clear that this applies to Duo and it doesn't apply to any other experiments. And that's it for that one.
Thank you. Maybe I can add my additional points. So I think for moving forward, the design proposed that I work on for the non-AI feature, maybe I could talk to the govern team, or maybe I can ask for help for UX paper cuts team. If I have capacity, I could also see if I can pick it up, but like we'll see. I'm not so sure if I can pick it up in this milestone. So yeah, we can like make these changes to the settings page because current setting is not scalable in a way. So I think it's a good way to having an umbrella like toggle on the top. Like, are you going to use experimental and beta feature because it could be unstable? But once the toggle is enabled, that user can have a freedom to choose, okay, I want to opt in with this feature, but probably I don't want to use the other feature. So we'll see how we can move this forward, this design. And yeah, that was my point. And thanks for walking us through everything. And really, it was really nice collaboration and productive week, I would say. So my question to you all, like, as a retrospective, like, what did you like the most
I can go
throughout this
first.
week? Yeah.
Yeah, I like working with you both, and it's interesting to look at something outside what I normally look at. Yeah, and give me a opportunity to play around with the dual chat features in my team. Probably not much AI happening at the moment, but it's great to be involved, and it's great to have the opportunity to contribute. That's the upsides for me.
Yeah.
What about
So,
you, Sanjan?
I can go next then. Yeah, of course, like it's a rare opportunity for me to work really closely with both of you. Like, I mean, like I'm working with myself, but like it's really a series of design that I constantly need UI text review from myself, like constant design review needed from you, from Bonnie, and from other designers. And my problem is I took most of my time understanding the context. Like, do they have another issue that is being planned to change this page? And then like how this are all connected in the Figma world? Like, do they have already proposed design somewhere? Do they have duplicate issue? So I think I spend most of my time investigating those contexts. So it was still fun because I could make a really like quick nice usability improvement that includes like pajama stock and also documentation and also the products. It was fun and productive. Yeah, so
Yeah, for me, it's something I was mentioning earlier that I really like the faster cycle time on this. That I already work with Bonnie and Sunjun a lot, being a technical writer for both of their groups. But I might be pinged on a design a month, 2 months, or 3 months before it's ever worked on. And ideas can change, and plans can change, and it can take a long time, but it's really nice to start looking at some issues at the beginning of the week, work on ideas in the middle of the week, and by the end of the week have a couple merge requests ready to roll. So to work on it and see the benefit right away, it is really, it's nice to have a much faster process in this case, and to be able to make some quick improvements was really nice.
thank you. So last question, like what could be the opportunity for the format of the hackathon, or maybe like what did we do so far? Like how would you do differently? Maybe in the next time.
For me, this is my first hackathon, but with the experience with this one, I think next time, maybe before. Oh, okay, I can think of two things. The first thing is, we could first spend a few days earlier to actually get GDK set up, because that could be like unpredictable time spent on getting it working, and you really need to get it working so we can actually see the behavior and play with it, and so I think it would be great if we can prepare for that. And the other thing is, I think we for design, I think we could involve the designers from the AI team, and we'll work with them to triage what sort of issue will be best for us to pick for like a 5 days hackathon week. And just so that we produce something that won't be a surprise for everyone. So yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, I have exactly like same findings. Like setting up GDK took like 1 to 2 days, and then we had only 5 days, and then it took like it's not a half, it's slightly less than that, but it's still a quite a large portion, like 2 out of 5. So yeah, maybe like we could have prepared a little bit earlier, but like I just didn't expect this level of complexity, like including the access requests and then like using the API key config, and then there were some error. Like yeah, it took me a while like debugging like this why it's happening. So that's one thing. And as Bonnie mentioned, like I think triaging the issues and involving the other designers already ahead could be more helpful, because in the end, I spent like another 2 days investigating those contexts, like what is happening in other designers' Figma. So, okay, I won't touch that because there will be new change upcoming. So, scoping down the issue that is suitable for hackathon, that took me a while. So, yeah, I could do it differently if I pick this type of issue in the next hackathon or so. So yeah, that was exactly my feeling.
The irony is that the two people who already had a working GitLab GDK, me and Briley, and who use it more often than Bonnie and Sunjin, were not actually able to get all of the AI features fully working on our GDK. So, that just goes to show. But for me, actually, the interesting aspect of the hackathon in general was that in previous hackathons, a lot of the proposals were about putting together a proof of concept of a feature or some idea that someone had to improve the efficiency of something on the back end, and then it seemed to be kind of above my head in a sense in technical writing. And by doing this at the design level and the front end level, it just kind of showed me that I can participate in this as well. So I feel that it was quite good at that, because I didn't participate in the early ones, and other ideas of a verify hackathon for technical writing would be just like improve the docs. And it's like, well, that's what I do every day. It's like just pick a page and improve it. And when I have time, I do work on that. And I don't feel like that really is kind of in the spirit of the hackathon, to just keep doing what you're doing, and to be able to do it like this. I felt, for me personally, what was along with the things of like double checking kind of the scope of the issues and triaging perhaps with the previous designer, get GDK working earlier. But everything else, I felt like it was quite good for me. It was at a level that worked well for me, and also felt like it was within 1 week, I was still able to help out and get, some positive benefit into the product based on that. So it was very good.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Like I was asking this because there is a chance next Monday sync that like share this retrospective, but yeah, I wanted to be inclusive as possible so that we can share this recording later, that like this was how the team felt during this hackathon. And I really appreciate for your really nice collaboration. Like as always, I really enjoy working with you all, but like for this week, it was a bit more special. So thanks, everyone. Do you want to add
Yeah,
something else
and
before I stop
and no,
the
but
recording?
thank you for putting together the issues and the channel to talk about it, and kind of you did a lot of the organizing. So thanks for kind of taking the lead on this for us, Sunjun.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank you
very
so
much.
much. And thank you
All
for
right.
including me.
Of course.
We'll
Thank
include you
you.
the next time.
Sure.
Of course. All right. Okay. Thanks for watching this video. Let me stop the